Measurement of marital readiness to avoid possible divorce. Marriage is a legal union or agreement between a couple. Marriage is regarded as a commitment, not only between the couple, but also between the families and communities. In some cultures, marriage is considered an obligation and the family is held responsible for not marrying their children. The prime objectives of marriage are to form an intimate and personal relationship between a couple, to reproduce, to avoid sexually transmitted diseases by striking to one partner alone, to have financial gains, and to uplift the society through the social institution of marriage. Religiously, marriage is seen as a holy ritual for the purposes of sexual gratification, reproduction, and psychological relaxation. Readiness is an inclination or a state of preparation which predicts a future action. Marital readiness, also called marital aptitude, indicates the perceived readiness for marriage by a person to be married. This readiness enables the person to plan for marriage, for example selecting a partner, finding a proper time, etc. Factors enhancing marital readiness include gender, that is, women expect marriage more than men, increase in age, higher levels of religiosity, puberty, sexual exposure, financial capacities of men, seeking financial gains from marriage, and being white in race than being black. Boys prefer beautiful girls and girls prefer educated boys as mates. Appropriate readiness for marriage has been considered important for the future marital satisfaction and adjustment. The measurement of marital readiness needs to be based upon those factors which could strengthen or weaken marital adjustment and sustainability. The earlier scales to measure marital readiness include Marriage Readiness Scale, the Readiness for Marital Competence Index, and Preparation for Marriage Questionnaire. The latest developments in information technology and the widespread of social media have remarkably contributed to people's thinking about marrying and their decisions on marriage. The concept of marriage has incorporated the modern ideologies of social liberation. Rates of divorce and infidelity are also on a constant increase worldwide. As all the earlier scales to measure marital readiness were quite backdated and did not comprehend the factors required for marital adjustment and sustainability, a new scale was developed and validated by Dr. Sukoon. The scale was entitled as Sukoon Marital Readiness Scale. It is in English and comprises of 21 items with 6 factors that are sexual desires, sexual functioning, emotional intelligence, social competence, morality, and relational commitment. The response format was 5 points Likert scale including strongly disagree, disagree, not sure, agree, and strongly agree. The reliability and validity of the scale was established, and the psychometric properties of the scale were presented accordingly. The additional findings of the study reported no significant differences for marital readiness between men and women. A significant difference, however, was found between the sexual functioning, which was found greater in men than women. Men are socially considered more responsible to have sexual capacity to initiate and accomplish sexual activity. Men are more sexually assertive and have higher levels of sexual perfectionism. Men report higher sexual desires than women. Their sexual desire is more spontaneous and is driven by the available clues for sexual availability. Women, on the other hand, associate their sexual desires with the value they give to their relationship with their partners. Age had a significant positive correlation with sexual desires and sexual functioning. Sexual functioning tends to improve with age, and there are plenty of studies which positively correlate age with sexual desires, especially in men. Women tend to decrease their sexual desire with the passage of time, and men, on the other hand, experience intensive frequencies of sexual desires for a longer period. Education had a significant positive correlation with sexual desires. Education, in earlier studies, has been positively correlated with sexual desires in men and women. All the factors involved in marital readiness, which are sexual desires, sexual functioning, emotional intelligence, social competence, morality, and relational commitment, were significantly and positively correlated with each other. The earlier literature also emphasizes on the role of these 6 factors in marital readiness. Sexual desire is an innate and the strongest motivational force in human nature, which is essential for any sexual activity, including marriage. Having sexual desires in a marital relationship are regarded as more culturally appropriate and essential. It is also a basis for sexual and marital satisfaction. Sexual satisfaction, moreover, is considered the most important aspect of marital satisfaction. Lower levels of sexual desire in either one or both the partners lead to marital dissatisfaction and divorce. Adequate sexual desires lead to appropriate sexual functioning. Sexual functioning refers to a person's ability to correctly respond to sexual stimuli and engage in pleasurable sexual activity. Poor sexual functioning results in sexual dysfunctions. Different scientists have proposed different factors involved in sexual functioning. Sexual functioning includes sexual satisfaction, sexual arousal, orgasmic responsivity, and intimacy during sexual intercourse. Pleasure from sexual intercourse and discomfort during sexual intercourse have also been regarded as factors in sexual functioning. Poor sexual functioning would involve lack of vaginal lubrication, erectile dysfunction, early ejaculation, inability to reach orgasm, and pain during intercourse, which will further contribute to sexual dissatisfaction. Sexual functioning is positively correlated with overall sexual satisfaction of men and women both. Sexual satisfaction enhances love among couples and has been positively correlated with relational commitment and the sustainability of the relationship. Relational commitment is referred to the commitment and agreement between a couple to maintain their relationship for as long as possible. It is based on psychological attachment, attraction, and dependency among couples. Relational commitment has also been regarded as a significant factor in marital adjustment and sustainability. Emotional intelligence is referred to individual differences in their capacity to process data about feelings and emotions for the improvement of life. Emotional intelligence helps to deal with environmental pressures, to be happy and joyful, to maintain relationships. Women are considered more emotionally intelligent than men. Emotional intelligence has also been positively associated with marital adjustment, marital sustainability, and marital satisfaction. Social competence or social intelligence are interchangeable terms referring to one's ability to understand and manage others in a social context and meet the demands of the society. Social competence involved in a marital relationship has also been defined as marital social skills. Social competence has also been positively correlated with marital adjustment and marital sustainability. Due to the cultural dominance of men, women are required to have more social competence for marital adjustment. Morality is a set of codes or rules and is defined as a person's judgment about rights, welfare, and justice. Moral values and moral commitment have been considered important to establish a moral bond between spouses to stay together for a lifelong time. Positive associations between morality and marital satisfaction or adjustment have been established. Morality has been considered the most important factor for marital stability, especially in collectivistic cultures where social compliance and religiosity are higher. The aforesaid study intended to develop and present the initial psychometric properties of Sukoon marital readiness scale. The scale was evaluated through exploratory and confirmatory analyses. The convergent and discriminant validity of the scale has yet to be analyzed to strengthen its psychometric properties further. The earlier literature reveals a gradual incline in the rates of divorce and infidelity worldwide. The aforesaid study of Dr. Sukoon has linked this with the appropriate measurement of marital readiness and has emphasized the need of measuring marital readiness to avoid possible divorce in future. The newly developed scale will help the prospective husbands and wives to evaluate themselves for the levels of marital readiness. This will facilitate them in taking appropriate decisions on marriage. Future researchers are advised to measure the test-retest reliability of the scale in different cultures. They can also work on the convergent and discriminant validity of the scale to link the concept of marital readiness with some other relevant psychosocial constructs. Thanks for listening. To read the entire paper, kindly visit www.dersakoon.info.